All right, hey everyone, welcome to a Zelda Speedrun Skyward Sword Randomizer tournament. We've got a Group 2 winners bracket, round 2, with Gymnast and Exto Dasher. On tracking today, we've got Battle Cats and Pac-Man Power Ghost. And on comms today, we have CJS and 64-bit Link. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Go. So
Who's ready for some fast Skyward Sword rando action?
Yep, we've got probably like two of the top runners in the tournament. I mean, Jim probably being, I can't even say probably. Jim is like the favorite to win the tournament. But I mean, Exto is also a very fast runner, and both of these.
I'd put Exto up there as well, but yeah.
Both of these are hundo runners with exceptional time, so this should be a great race between them.
Yeah, we're in for a treat tonight.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's ready for it.
So yeah, so in this in these settings, our runners are going to need to find harp, 3 sword upgrades, and whatever they need to beat their 2 required dungeons. And so we're kind of talking a bit that it would be really cool to see Fire Sanctuary as one of them, because Fire Sanctuary has a lot of really cool routing potential in it with RBM.
Cistern's another dungeon that's kind of cool with routing because there's a couple of options for it. It's not even RBM, it's just a lot of movement and technical tricks.
Yeah. And because Cistern has the Cistern clip in it, because this is based off of the English 1.0 version. So that presents some interesting routing opportunities when used correctly.
Yeah. I mean, every dungeon has some interesting routing. Has some amount of interesting routing opportunities. Skyview's another dungeon that comes to mind. That is just broken wide open by having certain items like claw shots. You could just ignore half the dungeon, basically.
Yeah. So looks like our runner should be starting as soon as stream delay catches up. And the runners are off.
So we're about to find out.
Yep. But first, we're going to have to find out which item Fledge will have for us today. Any predictions, CJ?
I'm betting on an Amber Relic.
Yeah, that would be something.
Actually, are there any Amber Relics in the pool? I don't think I've ever gotten an Amber Relic. I should say a Dusk Relic.
Yeah, Dusk Relic, I think, is a possibility. Or I know
it's a Golden Skull. I was close.
So, yeah, rare treasure versus semi-rare treasure.
Skyview Sandship, so another Sandship seed, but...
And Exto with the early lead thanks to Jim bonking into a plant.
Rigged, it's always Sandship.
Well, we won't be searching for the C chart today.
No repeat of yesterday's race.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. Today is Thursday.
But yes, C chart is required to access Sandship.
Yep. So basically, the hard required items that our runners are going to have are the C chart and the bow and the claw shots, basically, and then obviously the Farron and Linear tablets. Thankfully, the bow is basically sufficient to clear. Bow and claw shots are basically sufficient to clear Skyview. So it's possible that those are the only B-Bill items that are required for this seed.
Yeah, but there
unlikely, but
yeah, there is one hard beetle locked location in Skyview.
Yeah,
the Three Eyes chest, and I have definitely had a boss key there before. So both runners electing to go to the goddess statue first to get the 2 chests there.
And Jim and Exto both did 2 different routes, so it's actually interesting to note that these routes are basically identical in speed. Doing this, actually, Exto had a little bit of a lead, so he lost it ever so slightly.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like in perfect sync.
Yeah, I expect this to be a very close race with the fact that these 2 runners are fairly close in skill level.
Yeah.
The big difference that could come in is Jim's just overall more experience with Rando in general.
Yeah.
Because Jim has done a ton of Windbreaker Rando.
Yeah, it was Rando's general, not necessarily just SSR, but both runners electing to do exactly the same stuff here. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because you can deliver Colin's letter without having to make it nighttime.
Yeah, this definitely makes sense.
Yeah. So the reason why that's important is because one of the long checks that is in these randomizer settings is Beatrice, which requires talking to her in the bazaar a number of times and sleeping in between each of those conversations.
Not to mention 2 conversations with her father that have to happen at night. Well, one of which has to happen at night. The other can happen during the day, but that's a lot more complicated, and I don't think we will ever see anyone go for it in Rando.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically we're going to our runners are probably going to be heading to the bazaar next, and they're going to be talking to Beatrice during that. But first, they're going to finish this quest, and we will get to see Colin become extremely disappointed.
Yeah, Colin's about to have his heart broken. Sad. I'm actually interested in this decision because, this is one of those things where I think this is the hedge your bets type decision. But if our runners are to get, say Harp from somewhere else on Skyloft, they end up with a need to come back here, and it's slower than if they had just come here in the first place.
Yeah. On the other hand, our runners are probably going to have to come back to the academy at some point anyways, so...
Yeah, but it's a matter of, whose routing is the most, what routing for that is the most efficient.
Yeah, true. Interesting that Gymnast took the upper path to the bazaar, which seemed to be a little bit faster than Exo, who took the lower path.
Yeah, I think the upper path in this case is slightly faster. Also, shoutouts to iDude.
Yep. And yeah, Jim already out of the bazaar. And both runners with 10 gratitude crystals already, so...
I imagine we'll see a Beatrice loop here. Or, not, excuse me, a Betro loop here following the waterfall cave. I'm hoping that, I think our runners are probably hoping for something that allows them, that gives them a reason to go into a second house on the far side of Skyloft here, so that they can sleep tonight over there, trigger Betro, and then sleep tonight, or sleep back to day on this side of Skyloft with, for Beatrice and with Peter, but...
Yeah, so the runner's just getting a high lane shield, which is nice to get early, but it doesn't, do anything for them.
Yeah, first item in their pouch, so our runners are probably happy about that, so they don't have to worry about rerouting or rerunning it into their pouch. Ooh, a divergence here. Exto going back to the bazaar, presumably for some Beatrice action.
Yeah, I find that to be an interesting decision. 'Cause, I mean, I guess if you're gonna go for the bazaar, you might as well go for the bazaar. But, yeah, Jim already out of the bazaar. And yeah, both runners with 10 gratitude crystals already, so...
Yeah, actually think I like Exto's decision here, because he's going to go to the Waterfall Cave and I imagine fly to the town side of Skyloft.
Yeah, Exto seems to be partial to that particular play, and
I
Jim
do.
gets the beetle.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting. What pillar did we start with? The Farron pillar. So getting beetle here is pretty big because it means Skyview and all of Skyview is in logic now.
Yeah, except for the dig spot.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that sometimes.
Yeah, but in I don't know. This could be that one seed where the boss key is on the dig spot.
I don't think I've ever seen the boss key on the dig spot, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't really think of of a time I've seen that either. But as far as I
I've
know, it's
seen
possible.
I've seen keys on there plenty of times. They also got the fire shield earrings in Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, fire shield earrings not really doing anything immediately. Fire shield earrings require getting either a bottle plus magma mitts or a claw shots for the fire shield earrings to be useful.
I cannot tell what that is on the chandelier for Jim, but he does seem to be liking it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, Mitts is another option, but Mitts does not open any checks for it. Speaking of Mitts, oh, I think that's what they were saying was Mitts was the check.
Yeah, and Exto, as predicted, going to the village side of Skyloft to go to Betro and iDude.
I really like this route. Not gonna lie, I think that I see the value in it, but I think in this particular situation that Exo's getting a little bit, he's falling a little bit behind as a result of it.
Yeah. But I've always been partial to talking to iDude on your first trip to Skyloft, or I guess like at the very beginning, because you want to get your scrapper quests activated as soon as you can, so that when you inevitably find your claw shots in Eldin, you're ready to just grab the crystal ball.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that iDude is probably the one that you want to do the most, just because you can pretty much seamlessly route in talking to Dodo on Fun Fun Island at any other point.
So Gymnast heading right to Farron.
I think that this is the right play for him. He can clear all of the main parts of Farron here. Plus, he can clear Skyview unless we get the myths. Oh, actually, no, because he can get the digging spot now.
Yeah, he can full clear Skyview.
Yeah, he can full clear Skyview, which saves him time on the Kikwi quest, but he doesn't have Claw Shot, so it doesn't really matter. I guess he could just run past Machi, but...
Yeah, he can just run past Machi.
At that point, you might as well just rescue Machi.
So, Pouch as the Betro 5. Harp as Betro 10.
Okay.
That is interesting. So when Exto goes to Farron, he'll get an additional check for Ballad of the Goddess. It's a fairly lengthy, but both runners will have to do it eventually because it's required to open or to raise the Gate of Time.
So this is good for Exto here.
Jim missing log jump.
I think he just missed the roll input.
But yeah, that's an uncharacteristic error.
Yeah. Oh, another thing is Gorgo Goddess Wall for Harp. We don't have Water's Dragon Scale yet for the right layer of Skyview, but Jim doing Rope Floria?
I guess Jim might not know that you can just run past. I think Jim has this set up to skip Machi by using the rope here.
This is incredible.
Jim just doesn't know that all of that you can just run right past. but it's still really cool to see.
Well, I have literally never seen that before. That's so incredible. Was that like a buffered roll input on that?
I'm pretty sure it's like incredibly precise. I know like even Azer has said it's kind of dumb, and when Azer says that something's dumb,
it's really dumb.
And also Jim finding a sword upgrade at the heart piece ledge, so he's got one of the 3 he needs to find out of the way.
And if Jim ever likes to go to Thunderhead, that's going to be pretty good for him.
Yeah, because we also didn't get to mention that Ballad of the Goddess opens up Thunderhead to our runners, and so now he has 3 checks there.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this play from Exto right now, but there's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, at this point, like, Exto is pushing his advantage from getting Harp. I mean, he doesn't know that Jim skipped the Betrow checks, but he could be thinking that and thinking, okay, I want to get as much of an advantage as he possibly can with that Harp.
The problem with this play to me is that, yes, it pushes your advantage with Harp, but you could still push your advantage with Bow to the Goddess, which is a required check regardless, and puts you in your most check-dense area. Also, the only other area you can go to, but that's not really the point. Exo getting the other beetle and Jim getting the whip here.
Wow, so Hook Beetle, like, really early on.
That's weird. Genuinely. Because LMF isn't required. This could be hinting, like, if we get an early Lineru tablet somewhere.
Yeah, and one thing that I've noticed is seeds that give you a Hook Beetle fairly early, like, the Hook Beetle tends to lock the claw shots a lot.
Yeah. The problem, I mean, Hook Beetle only lock... I guess they could get, Temple... I guess that's the only other way into, second half of Lineru. So it does unlock a lot more than it seems on the surface.
Yes, because, like, I mean, these runners are never going to enter the Temple of Time area, but by logic, you need to go through there to get through there without having claw shots, so second half of Lineru is Hook Beetle or claw shots.
Yeah. What is your thoughts on, in this particular situation, on Break Slide versus Bit Warp to get to the second half of Lineru?
It's interesting. So, like, I guess it kind of depends if you have bombs or not. If you don't have bombs, I could see the Bit Warp giving you an extra check being a bit of an advantage, but I think we'll see both of these runners do the Break Slide, just because the Break Slide is just faster to execute regardless, and neither of these runners will have any issues whatsoever with the Break Slide.
I agree with that analysis, but I think so. You know, there's kind of 2 ways you can look at it. Is and to me, it's whether or not you're doing it in order to go out of logic or to skip it going quickly. I think that if you're just doing it to go out of logic because it, you know, for like a check density reason, I think the Bit Warp is better because it nets you 1 additional extra out of logic check. But if you're going solely to skip Temple of Time, I think that the slides are better. I don't know, that might be a controversial opinion, apparently.
I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if, like, I've ever also been in a situation where that 1 extra check actually wound up making a big difference, but it could happen.
I mean, it's not like that check is, you know, significantly unlikely to have a have a progress item. I should have the percentages up from Jim's testing, just because it's interesting to be able to reference and, you know, call it out.
Yeah. And to answer the question in chat, like, I think, like, so Jim has probably, like, in the past, like, 5 or 6 years, the number of times that Jim has done the first half of Skyview is probably the number of Skyview required rando seeds that he's run.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think, like, some of it just might be that he just doesn't have quite as much familiarity with this part of the game as he does with the parts that were in, like, 5-hour any percent. So Jim is able to check the dig spot immediately. And it is the one seed in a million where the dig spot has the boss key.
So interestingly, Skyview is scale locked here as well.
Yeah, because we should point out too, scale is a logical requirement for that dig spot, because although you can get it if you go through the first time, as soon as you raise the water level, you become unable to access that area again without having scale, because you just can't get through the tunnel.
The digging spot, according to Jim's test, is a 9.26%. Oh, wait, that's the wrong percentage? No. Yeah, 9.26% chance to be the boss key. It is the second least likely location for it to be.
Yeah, interesting, because, like, the boss key, so as far as I understand, the small keys are placed first, and then the boss key is placed after the small keys.
Yeah,
so
that's
there's some bias
to later checks.
Yeah, for the boss key specifically. Oh, first medal.
Oh, poor Exto.
So yeah, now Exto doing a spin attack of annoyance there.
The least likely place for the boss key to be is the behind two eyes check, which is the vanilla's first small key.
Interesting, that's more likely to be in the map chest.
I think that might just be insufficiently large sample size. Because over here, while this was a 5,000 sample test, there's only like 1,600 Skyview seeds in the pool, in the sample.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
What I really like to see is something like the potential for small keys to be on bosses or the end of the dungeon in dungeons where that's logically possible, like Sandship and Cistern.
I mean, I think it would basically just be Sandship, because, like, Cistern, it potentially locks... Wow. Bomb bag.
Bomb bag!
But in Cistern, because it potentially locks the statue logically, like, I think that would be a little...
Yeah, but claw shots is sufficient to avoid that.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to think through all the possibilities with that.
In Ancient Cistern, the claw shots avoid every use of the small key except logically for the boss key, I believe.
Okay, so I think Jim has surmised that the other small key is in the Three Eyes chest, so rather than go get the Three Eyes chest, which is a fairly lengthy check, Jim is going to do the bit warp to get to the back part of the dungeon.
Definitely a good call in my opinion here.
Also, Jim making an incredibly good play there to walk over to where the water is so that he can die into the water and thus save some frames waiting for the game over screen. So now Jim has activated back in time. I don't think he ever made a bit magic file, so this is going to be a little slower than it could be.
He did not. Neither of our runners made bit magic files, despite having a Skyview dungeon.
So yeah, he's going to go to this statue. He's going to start his file and save it at the same time. And that is going to put him basically back where he was, but now the gate blocking the back of the dungeon just isn't loaded, so he can...
It just doesn't exist. We don't really care about gates in this game.
So now, however, in order to access the boss, to get to the boss, he needs to reload the area properly, which he can do by going into this room with the Staldra.
Yep. Also, to answer the question I posed earlier about how likely it is for there to be a progress item in the chest near the trial in Linear, it is 33.56%. But that is the chance with bottles and crystals included.
Yeah.
It is 20, almost 21% without them.
Yeah, but I presume that also includes things like the fetch quest items and all that, and the fetch quest items could have trash behind them.
Yeah, that's a little too deep of an analysis for something like this.
Fair. So, interesting, Jim ignoring the chest near the boss door for now. I presume he'll get it before heading into the boss room.
I think it's faster to get it on the way back, assuming you're coming back via the vines. It's just less movement, I'm pretty sure. You can hit that with the whip?
I guess at least the closer one.
It's so close for the second one. Too, that's insane. You can whip everything. That's true, there's so many things you can whip in this game. Jim getting the third beetle of this game, the Honored Colossus beetle variety.
Yep, so getting a fetch quest.
Jim might make it to 30 crystals before he makes it back to Skyview at this rate.
Yeah, well, I guess it's how many checks does he have? So he has the slingshot check. I'm not sure is there anything else open and fair in for him.
Yeah, you'd be correct. Yeah, Skyview seeds have a tendency to clear Skyview very quickly, simply because there's so few requirements for Skyview.
Yeah, and this seed was really front-loaded with the Skyview requirements.
I mean, all you need... I mean, you started with Fair and Pillar, all you needed was Beetle. I guess in this ridiculous seed, you also needed Digging Mitts, which were also Sphere Zero, so... Oh yeah, there's the 2 bombable walls, because he got bombs.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. What are the chances we'll see a vanilla ruby tablet?
Exto doing the cool kid strat.
Jim completely running past the heart container.
Jim!
Oh, that's the map. It's either a small key or the map. That's why he's running past it.
It has to be a map.
Yeah, it is the map because it can't be a small key, right? I'm like, yeah. But yeah, so Jim having the presence of mind to realize that and avoid the whole picking up the map cutscene. And so Exto is still
Another sword upgrade. That's as close to vanilla as we're gonna get in this seed.
Yeah, so I think Jim might very well head right to Thunderhead, or well, probably after he clears the rest of Farron, because now he can check everything in Thunderhead except for Levias, which I think Jim would be willing to put off.
We know that Jim puts off Levias anyway, so.
Now, I guess one other point. So, did Jim check the statue in front of Skyview?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, so he's neither pushing the log down nor checking that statue, which means if there winds up being an item on the Gorko Goddess wall, that could become become a little bit of a problem later. I mean, he'll be able to get back there.
Some people said he checked it, so that's.
Okay, he did. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I also didn't see it.
So, Exto's going to be still repeating the same checks that Jim did earlier. Jim is starting up the slingshot checks and is able to combine them with doing all of the like bomb wall checks.
I mean, there's a tablet around here somewhere. There's only a handful of remaining checks. Oh, not important.
Yeah, disappointing.
Oh, and Beatrice. Beatrice still exists. And if there's something on Beatrice, Exto probably has a big advantage. Like, to the tune of, like, 2 or 3 conversations, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Even so, it's not insurmountable to Jim. Jim will get in sleep with the beetle, and probably will have some other reason to make it nighttime as well.
Oh, that's the bow.
That's a required item.
Yep.
So at this point, for Sand Ship, we are missing a C chart and
We have C chart. It's claw shots.
Claw shots.
It's literally just claw shots.
And the linear tablet.
Oh yeah, that's a thing we need. Exto electing to go for the small key check here.
Yeah, this is a fairly slow check. I mean, one thing that I could maybe see doing is to save at the statue outside this area, and then death warp after getting the small key, and it might be comparable in time to doing the bit warp.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But we'll see.
Jim getting lobster roll.
That is a hype moment.
Yeah. That's a one-frame trick with no visual or audio cues whatsoever.
And Jim remembering to talk to Lopsa afterward because because basically these cutscenes kind of play out in a really weird way, but as a result, you don't wind up actually talking to, or actually like triggering the conversation that tells where the game actually says, okay, you've rescued Lopsa. Also, Jim pushing that log down so that he can check Owlin crystals more conveniently later.
Yeah. That's in logic now, so we could have a Linear tablet on Owlin crystals.
And I mean, Allen crystals has been important in so many seeds.
It's been the linear tablet an insanely high amount of times.
And Jim going for the single out of logic check in Lake Floria. And I mean, this is also Jim. I think Jim basically always goes for this play, but he's probably also thinking about the fact that logically he's supposed to have scale right now, so he might as well check this one check because, like, technically that the scale that's out there somewhere puts it in logic.
I wonder if we have like vanilla scale or something.
I mean, vanilla scale would be a thing. Did you see what the Furor's Courage hint was?
Chad is very excited about it, so I'm assuming it's required.
Well, Jim getting the fake bomb bag.
To go with his real bomb bag, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that no joke, that's actually kind of nice to have because it means less refilling bombs.
Yeah. So chat, this isn't as big of a deal for Exto as you think it is, because if Jim is making a return trip for Allen crystals, it's no big deal.
Exto saving, which I
might be stamina refill.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't need to save though.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like force of habit. Harp was on Betrow 10. And Jim get bodied.
Bodied Jim.
And as I predicted, Jim is heading right to the Thunderhead.
Definitely the right play.
Yeah, agreed. When you get this many swords this early...
It has to be Din's power or something.
Yeah, tornadoes are really hard to avoid with the increased Loftwing speed. Also, Jim not quite landing on the roof, but because he has Digging Mitts, it doesn't really matter.
So there's Gust Bellows. I guess the other place we could have is like a Sphere 1 scale off of not Gust Bellows, Ballad in Ferrari's Courage chest.
Yeah, so that puts Malara crystals in logic, and once Jim finds this elusive scale, that will also put the Great Tree Chest in logic.
And hopefully he won't have to do the mini swims of shame.
I trust that Jim can get that successfully first try.
I still can't believe I jumped off, like I missed the first jump.
Yeah,
or the second jump, rather.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
I was going to say, Exto electing to not use his shield here, and then I remembered he can't.
Yeah, plus I think like pretty much all the runners at this point are so used to doing this fight without the shield that
25 crystals for Jim.
Yeah, so now Jim's in range of Betrow 30.
30 crystals for Jim. Can we get 35?
So Jim now in range of Betrow 40. The game is trying to make a liar out of me. Exto does not have the same presence of mind that Jim did, so he has to endure the map cutscene.
What was in the, oh, Gust Bellows was in the other chest.
Yeah. So Gust Bellows and 15 Gratitude Crystals in Thunderhead. So, okay, so Jim's gonna talk to Oriel. This will allow him to get one of the 2 Paro items, the bottle
Yeah.
item. And Exto is still a little bit behind. It's not quite as big of a gap as it might appear because Exto did the Ballad of the Goddess check, which Jim will eventually have to do.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good like minute and a half to 2 minutes.
I wonder what Jim's going into the... Oh, Allen crystals here.
Yeah. This is kind of like, I won't say it's bad, but it's a little bit unfortunate, like routing, in the sense that he's gonna have to then come back here for Colin's letter once he gets Harp. But on the other hand, at this point, it's probably gonna make it nighttime and get 5 individual crystals so that he can get the Betro 40 reward and all the other rewards.
Yeah, I imagine that is what we'll see. Oof, unfortunate. Also, all the rupees from having the cursed metal.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah. Curse Metal is annoying for more than just locking your pouch.
Yeah. We don't want the rupee text boxes, even though I think Rando should start with the flags for them, but that's the whole different issue entirely.
Yeah. I think the
Did
issue...
Jim talk to Paro yet? Ooh, he triggered the the text box. He was trying to avoid it.
Well, I think that answers the question.
Yeah. Jim not having enough rupees to buy Bugnet, much to Jasnix's disappointment.
Yeah. But making the correct decision to not waste the time buying it.
I mean, he can't buy it anyways. It doesn't really matter.
That's besides the point.
Jim bonking again. Nice snipe from Exto there on the vine. Vanilla gratitude crystals from...
Okay, so maybe Jim won't be getting individual gratitude crystals. The game again making a liar out of me.
I mean, he could get 5 more from Paro and have to get 5 again. That seems to be where this is going.
True. The game's telling me I should stop predicting what Jim's going to do.
I mean, it is Jim. We never know what he's gonna do. Aw. Exo not getting lobster roll, unfortunately.
So Jim choosing to talk to Paro in his house to, I think, ideal... Well, he wants to get this single gratitude crystal, because... Although at this point, like, I don't know if I would make a play for individual crystals at this point. Because I feel like it's unlikely that you will wind up needing them.
I mean, Jim might also just be going for, some night task here.
Yeah. And maybe
did he turn in Paro there?
Yeah, he got the Paro item.
What was it? I wasn't paying attention.
It was something unimportant.
Bloopy.
Yeah. Like, see, like, when you run enough rando, items are either, like, what they are or unimportant.
Alright, is Exto gonna go directly for the trial here?
Yeah, I mean, that...
I mean, getting 5 from Betrothed would not be an unreasonable guess at this point. Exto confirming what he saw about the trial.
Yeah. So, Jim is doing the cleaning crystals. Yeah,
You're too, Jez, but yeah, you're right. Yes, he's gonna do the trial.
Yeah. Malara doesn't care if you break all her stuff as long as you just make the dust go into the air so that it can settle down in the back down in the morning.
Yep.
So let's see if Exto gets harp cancel, which
He does. We don't get to jam.
And Jim leaving at night, which means that he gets an extra text box from Malara.
Estimates, Jim.
But, I mean, routing-wise, it makes perfect sense, because he has to open the...
Oh yeah, no, I know. Extra going for the slightly suboptimal route here.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was kind of talking about this earlier in his stream, about it. The difference between the two routes is like 1 second, and that's assuming optimal execution.
Is it really only 1 second? That's fine. I believe it.
Yeah, because I think it's more about, like, optimizing watcher cycles than it is about, like, actually saving time, like, routing time. So now Jim getting his harp, but now Jim's gonna get a bunch more rewards.
One of them is garbage. And one of them is more gratitude crystals.
Yeah, so Jim should have collected more individual gratitude crystals, apparently. I was right all along.
Can't wait for more gratitude crystals in the chest.
Okay, if that was actually going to be more gratitude crystals, I don't even know.
I really thought it was going to be gratitude crystals, not gonna lie.
Okay,
I did genuinely believe it.
So the game has decided to stop making a liar out of me. For now. So I have 1 part of Song of the Hero. We still need 2 more before we find out if it's potentially required or not. And Exto on the last tier, and we will find out if the time he spent was worth it or not. So it'll be interesting to see if Jim is actually going to, like, get to 50 and recheck Petro immediately.
I mean, if it's 5 gratitude crystals, I don't even know that I'd be upset at this point. I mean, I'd be upset, but Jim would be, wow. Extra won't have to run around for, a potential trial chain.
Yeah.
If it was crystals, Exto wouldn't have necessarily had to have been upset because it would have gotten him to 50 crystals, is what I was trying to say. I really hope that Song of the Hero is required.
So Jim just needs 1 more crystal. Trying to think which one that would... I guess that would be the pumpkin patch. Yeah, because I guess, yeah, Jim did not talk to iDude earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, I imagine we'll see him talk to iDude here.
Again, I am partial to getting the iDude conversation done early.
I agree with that call.
And I think like now is a time that it naturally slots into your routing.
I mean, even Extos fit naturally into his routing.
Yeah, true. And it's a matter of like, do you specifically route around trying to get that check early, or do you just wait for a point where it just naturally slots in and Jim chose to do the latter? So now Jim is going to be doing his last betrothed check.
I'm wondering, like, it's all been leading up to this at this point. Like, what is it gonna be?
Well, time to find out.
No, it's the Ember Tablet. That's not nothing. However, if Song of the Euro is not a dead end, then this is huge for Jim. Or it could be huge for Exto.
Yeah, well, I mean, we only know where 2 of the parts are.
I thought we had 3. That's... never mind.
Well, according to the tracker, they have 1 each.
Never mind. I thought we found one earlier.
We'll see how Exto reacts to the Isle of Gratitude.
Hopefully not by immediately going to Betroth, because he'll be disappointed.
So Jim is... Exto is...
upset.
Yes. Okay, and Jim did check the statue in front of Skyview because I can see it on his map.
I'm still wondering where... So, okay. So here's a very interesting conundrum, right? So, Amber Tablet is currently out of logic. Because we still don't have scale.
Yeah, and I guess we don't have enough...
I guess unless you were expected to collect 10 loose crystals.
Yeah, because that's what I was about to say, is like, do we not have enough loose crystals? Because we have Beetle to pick up a couple of them.
Yeah, we can get all of the loose crystals, so... The question is whether or not that was the requirement.
Yeah.
Or if, you know, we're still just missing scale somewhere. Although I don't know that there are any checks left that it could be.
We have not seen Beatrice.
Yeah. Peter's is the only one left. Yeah, I would also be very surprised if Jim doesn't do trial here.
Now, he did save, if I remember right. I wonder if he's going to save scum this check, and if this check is nothing if he does the trial.
See, I don't really like that play, because what if this check is something, then you just put yourself in a really bad position.
Yeah, well, I mean... He also knows, like, at some point, he's still going to be coming back here again with scale. So, it might not...
Well, he might not have to come back here with scale, that's the thing.
I mean, fair point, but yeah, we'll see what he decides to do.
The problem is that this play, if he's planning on doing the trial here, if Alan is something, this play backfires horribly on him. Exto finally getting rid of the cursed metal. I guess the thing is, if it's, like... If it's claws on Alan, for example, like, he just goes to Leneru immediately. In which case, this is a fine play. But if it's any other progress item he doesn't want to save scum, he's screwed. I just say that this play is scuffed. The problem isn't that it's a high-risk play, it's that it's an avoidable high-risk play. The ceiling on the reward is insane in this case, but it's no more insane than doing the trial itself. It's scale.
Yeah, so...
Honestly, that's probably the worst case scenario for him. I guess because he's flying back, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, the point was that he just was gonna... Well, so he's not gonna head back to Farron immediately. So he wants to check the shed chest, presumably.
Yeah, reason. Yeah, I guess it had to be Scale, actually. I guess Scale could have been either there or Beatrice. The Scale could have been there, Vanilla, or Beatrice, basically, assuming that Lineru is out of logic currently.
Yeah. Which I'm not sure it is, because the only thing really... Like, I think there was only one Gratitude Crystal pack that he has that's out of logic.
Yeah. Alright, so
Okay.
no loose crystals are required this seed. That means. Well, actually, no, because, yeah, okay. Now Lineru is definitely in logic. Because he has managed to replace one of the 5-pack. Which means even if they were out of logic before, it's fine. So now what does he do? Does he... What was he... Was he checking the waterfall check? The baby rattle there?
That was what it looked like.
Battle rattle. Where's Jim going here? Oh, letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim... I really don't like that play from Jim. He didn't get punished, but... I guess if, you know, if Song of the Hero is required, then he got punished. But he's not immediately being punished.
Yeah.
The battle rattle.
Yeah, remind me what was on Colin's letter.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Alright, it was something unimportant.
Oh,
no,
Beetle.
It was,
no,
it was very important.
It was important, I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah. Well, this is actually going to probably push him to Lineru. Which...
The problem is that that's like... Do you go to Lineru here, or do you go in all clear, like full clear Farron?
I mean, it's a call between, like, clearing the rest of Farron or, like, going to the item density in Lineru. So Jim checking his trial hints again. Okay, he's going back to Farron because he was doing the loading zone manip to go towards Farron.
Yeah, but you can still one-trip Lineru later. Because if claws don't show up here, they have to be in Lineru, I guess. I guess. Yeah. Or Lineru has to lead to them.
Interesting that he's starting in Lake Floria.
He's hard gambling on the trial. Which we don't know if it's a good play or not. But he's also missing out on tree as a result, but he doesn't have to do fence hop again. This is why I don't like checking this one check out of logic without it. Gotcha, okay. That makes sense, Specs.
Yeah, I've just seen claw shots be hook beetle locked in Lanayru so many times that I'm kind of just partial to going there with hook beetle.
I mean, you could get Elden Tablet in Lanayru, which would send you on a potentially wild goose chase out to Elden.
I mean, that's also a fair point. There's also a spiral charge out at somewhere, presumably. And we haven't found a bottle yet, so there's still plenty of things that could open progression besides claw shots.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't open much progression. I think that, something like Ruby Tablet has the ability to send you, to make you consider leaving halfway through Lanayru if you can return at a good point to finish it out with another item, if it's an Elden type thing, but...
Yeah.
It's just a really awkward situation regardless.
Okay. So he's gonna... Okay, so he is committing to clearing the rest of Farron.
I mean, he went back for Floria. He kind of had to commit to clearing all of it. Also, he has to fly out and back in an additional time here still. Or 2, actually. He's gonna fly out, fly into... After this to get, the magma trigger in Skyview.
Yeah, that is true, although he might... That's the one he might gamble on. But honestly, yeah, if I were him...
That is a very bad gamble, because that check has a stupidly high percentage for progress. For non-bottle, non-crystal progression.
Yeah. Well...
I think it's 50%.
Yeah. But what I would have probably done was landed at the Skyview statue and
worked backwards.
Yeah, because you'd probably want to check the Gorko wall at the very end, and also...
But he has to go back to Sealed Temple anyway.
Yeah.
So flying back in isn't terrible, but...
Yeah, but you can avoid all of the flying by just basically starting at...
Started in Skyview. I guess he always has to fly out, fly back in once, but... There's the last part of Song of the Hero. Given the placement of some of these, I get the feeling that they may be required.
Yeah, but I've thought that before and had it be a total debate. And Jim is not going to the trial.
He's also not going to Skyview. This is the worst of all worlds, in my opinion, here. Jim is hard to pass on the trial and the Gorko Goddess Wall reward. I really disagree with this play.
Yeah, well, Jim's about to be very unhappy with this check. So meanwhile, Exto, actually with a really nice strat, jumping down to grab this one loose crystal.
Yeah, I've now that I know how to do that strat correctly from learning the trial route, I love using that. I mean, leaving multiple checks is usually better if you're going to abandon one or more checks, because it means you have more to come back to, but he's orphaning two checks on completely opposite side of the maps. Oh, wow, X was already done with Beatrice. I wasn't even really paying attention to his Beatrice right, but it's been phenomenal then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been trying to puzzle out what Jim's doing here.
Potion metal.
Yeah, so garbage.
Gorko is Like Sphere 3, yes, I agree with that assessment, Jazz.
But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, especially to a runner like Exto, like that potion medal does absolutely nothing for him. So at this
Yeah,
point,
because
like,
he's never gonna go into the bazaar again, so we won't even see him get a guardian potion.
I don't think he would ever buy a guardian potion. Like, I think he trusts in his skill at the game to not need it.
I mean, I used to trust in my skill at the game to do Horde, and I buy guardian potions now.
Yeah, but you have to know that, like, Exto knows who he's racing against, so he is not going to go out of his way for
That's
any safety item because
very
he
true.
knows that that could be the difference between him winning and losing the race.
That's a fair point. Soup only valid option. Or
Oh
potion.
no, Exto accidentally triggering this cutscene.
If it skips scale here, for all we know, scale is completely unrequired. Unless the, right? Unless ballad is required. Excuse me, unless Song of the Hero is required, right? Scale is completely useless, other than logically.
Well, yeah, it's Ballad and Song of the Hero are like the two scale lock things that are left. But at this point, we're
Ballad wasn't scale locked, was it?
Or sorry, not Gorko
The
got
crit-
his ball.
Yeah, Gorko got as well.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know what's on Gorko, so.
Yeah, but Jim is heading into Lanayru. So we'll see if my prediction of Claw Shots being Hook Beetle locked is correct for this seed.
I don't know, based on which loading zone Exo went to, he could be doing either here. He is going to no? Yes.
Yeah, so Exto's heading to Farron.
No.
Or not. Exto is faking me out.
We just got like triple debated.
I don't know if Exto knows what Exto's doing.
Yeah, no, I don't think Exto knows either. Exto's just like, I hate commentary. I'm gonna make them feel weird and jank.
I think the seed has already done a good enough job of that.
I know everyone has recently started whipping those keys.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Usually you wouldn't have the whip going through this area, so it's really nice to have some other options. Of course, usually you just flat out wouldn't go through this area at all. Unfortunately, the whip does not work on the electric shoes. The strat I like to do there is to backflip down, pull the cart until I hear the shoes stop electrifying, and then spin attack. And that usually clears them out. Yeah, so first chest is garbage.
Jim playing the lawnmower simulator again.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Like, all the different runners have different things that they like to do while sitting in the minecart. Okay, so Exto, I think, pulled this minecart to start. I think that's a little bit better than what Jim did. But again, like, this is an area that Jim has, like, other than Rando, has not been in like 6 years. So, But I mean, Jim is also really, really good at just at the game in general, which means he's really good at being able to just improv strats that are
Yeah.
usually really efficient.
There's our first bottle, finally.
Yeah, so Specs has the prediction that that Song of the Hero will have our claw shots.
That'd be insane.
I mean, that would make this a race because, yeah, as Specs rightfully points out, each of the runners has a piece of the Song of the Hero that the other runner does not. Also, our runners now each have a bottle, so that will also open up 2 more checks for Oriel and Pero. So, Jim, interestingly enough, like, does the break slide, then lays a bomb.
There's the Master Sword!
And now he can just...
What is this seed?
Well, our runners will not be searching for swords at the very least.
They will not be searching for... I guess they could be searching for claws, but... Claws have a significantly less number of locations they can meet.
Yeah. So, this seed's just gonna come down to where are the claw shots, because they have everything else they need.
Claws is also go mode for Exto. I'm in camp specs on this one. I think Skyward Trial is going to be claws. Elden Trial. Wow, I'm seeing some very interesting guesses here for where they are. A lot of people on Skyloft Trial. Elden after the crawl space. Now that's a guess. Levias.
So, Jim picking up the party wheel. We'll see at what point both of our runners decide to go and collect that, because that has been an important item in location in the past.
I wonder if we'll see Exto book it out of Linear right away here or something like that.
I mean, I don't know if he has a real reason to.
It's the anti-meta play.
Yeah. I mean, so the one thing I can see doing is save scumming that check.
Taking the path that I'm convinced at this point is the longer path. But...
So... let's see what's at Hook Beetle.
This seed is really interesting because it's like... It's a very open seed, or a linear seed masquerading as a very open seed.
Yeah, true.
Wait, is Exo not? Oh, that's Jim. Never mind. I looked at the wrong screen. I was like, is Exo just not doing the fight?
So, Jim doing what is known by no bit runners as the break slide, or has already done it. So now he's gonna probably activate all of the nodes. There is a chest on top of LMF that is not part of LMF, so it is in fact in logic, and may have our progression.
It has had progression before, so.
Exto also getting the break slide.
Well, yes, Mario. However, when we were discussing which one was better, we didn't know that they'd be looking specifically for claw shots.
So doing the bit warp is objectively worse if the item you're looking for is claw shots, because the claw shots cannot be in that particular chest.
Not in no logic, it's not. My first ever seed of this randomizer back before there was logic had claw shots in that chest, so there's that.
Now, Fire Node has also been known to have progression on many an occasion.
If claw shots are like in fire or something, this could be the fastest non-Skyview Earth Temple seed like ever. I thought that was claw shots for the split second of that animation.
Same. But yeah, slingshot not terribly useful. I guess like
Prank.
it can kind of be if you don't want to use arrows for whatever reason, but otherwise not really. Not in Fire Node.
This check is never stacked in my experience.
And secret passage chest is
Worthless. I don't know if that death warp was intentional or not.
I cannot imagine it was. Because, like, I'm trying to think, like, why. I mean, unless he's planning on save scumming the dodo crystals, this just sets him back.
Honestly, that's a 10,000 IQ play.
Oh, yeah, I mean... Yeah. Like, honestly, like, in Jim's situation there, like, I might have done it because, it's like, I, at that point, he just, like, was right near a statue, but he's gonna continue with the full clear here, which I think for Jim is a reasonable play, because I think Jim can still expects to be the favorite, so he might. So from Jim's perspective, he might as well just full clear.
Yeah, no, I agree. But even to a certain extent, as the favorite, sometimes you might want to make a gamble on the plays that your opponent might also be gambling on.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
But that's like a super counter meta play.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something that, like, if you're gonna play rando at a top level, you need to think about. And certainly, like, yeah, so it's like, yeah, you'll basically see these runners, the top runners, also try to think about, like, what their opponents may try to do to gamble and try to, also make sure that they get those checks in as well, so that they don't lose the race off of
Yeah.
that.
Oh, there's the ruby tablet.
Okay, well, you and Specs may be right, and this may be the Wild Goose Chase.
Also, Exto kind of changed ideas in the middle of this node here because he realized he was on low health. And if you're on low health already, you want a Death Orb out of here if possible. At least I think you do.
Yeah. He might even... I don't know if he checked the front chest yet, but he
did. He checked both. I saw them.
Okay.
I assume see on top of LMF from both runners here.
Well, yeah. We know we're going to see it from Jim because that's the only reason he would activate the water node. We'll see if Exto does the same thing.
Exto not just backflipping back into that loading zone, losing a couple frames as a result.
So now for what is probably the longest single check, at least in Lanayru Desert. So now Jim's gonna raise LMF and then climb to the very top of LMF to get that chest. So yeah, at this point, like, we're seeing like
Exto.
We're seeing
aim from Exto.
Yeah. We're seeing the runners fairly close together, but at this point, I think there's some checks that Exto has done that Jim hasn't, like the Farron Silent Realm, and then actually I don't think Exto is done Owling crystals.
He does not have scale.
Yeah. But as far as we know, nothing's on scale yet that we know of.
Yeah. Another bottle. Dang. Down didn't we go?
Yep, well, we are now fully into the wild goose chase. Now, if the claw shots wind up in Eldin, then technically they were still hook beetle locked.
No. Eldon's not hook beetle locked.
Well, the ruby tablet was because.
Oh yeah, because they have no way of accessing his back half otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one skipped any checks because it's claw shots locked. Smeldin. Chat always coming up with stupid names for checks. A red rupee.
Yep, so Dodo with nothing for us today.
Exto getting some slightly more optimal routing here, I think. Because he nets an extra check out of this and a less flying. Bodied.
Yeah, dodging tornadoes with the increased lofting speed is extremely hard.
Even when you have Spiral Charge, like, I feel like I can't dissipate tornadoes anymore with Spiral Charge in Rando.
Sometimes I can, but sometimes it does feel like the tornado just literally spawns on top of me and I can do nothing about it even with Spiral Charge.
I feel like I get hit by tornadoes that I wouldn't get hit by in vanilla when I Spiral Charge through them.
Yeah, it's one of the things where tornadoes have like these fixed spawns or like fixed spawn zones where they are supposed to spawn a certain amount of distance from you, but because you have the increased lofting speed, they now spawn a lot closer to you.
I wonder if we're gonna see Exo put Eldin here. It does seem that way.
Yeah. I mean,
I think he would have checked Oriel first.
His pathing seems to suggest that, but we'll see.
Jim missing a bomb throw. That's the battle rattle.
So yeah, I guess we'll see Exto
Red rupee.
potentially go back to check that.
Battle rattle acquired. No, it looks like Eldin is going straight to Exto. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to say.
Well, so remember when earlier I was like, Fire Shield Earrings don't really do much for us? Well, now they do.
They do one singular thing.
Yeah, so if Claw Shots happen to be in the Volcano Summit
Again.
art piece
Again. Let's just let that fact sink in. Then it would be 2 consecutive races.
Well,
if Rattle has claw shots.
Well, if Bo can be on Levias twice, then claw shots can be in Volcano.
It's like a less than 1% chance for claw shots to be on that specific check or something.
So Exto is following in Jim's footsteps, which and missing the lava cycle.
Oof.
That is not something I would have expected to see from Exto.
Something I expected to see from anyone recently. Exo trying to scoop up the bomb flower.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
A valiant death for an Exto. Mangas, apparently. Whoever finds claw shots first in this race is in the lead. That is literally what's going to decide this race. Is who finds claws first.
Yeah. I mean, if it happens to be in Eldon, it's gonna wind up being a very close race, and it may be decided by where the big key or the boss key is in Sandship.
And if one or both runners elects to go for Tentaclus skip.
I imagine we will see at least Jim go for it.
I think we'll see both go for it.
Yeah, yeah, true, because I know I saw Exto practicing it earlier.
I mean, the RBM is pretty free.
Yeah,
did either runner check the volcano entrance statue, actually?
Well, I mean, it's auto-checked.
Or not volcano entrance, desert entrance. For Bit Magic.
I don't think they did, but they can set it up here in Eldon.
Yeah, but they won't have the shed, which is just slow.
Yeah, but they can also get the BX08.
That's true. They can get the actual flag.
Because I think at this point, like, they want to do that because I'm pretty sure. Well, no, maybe not. I was gonna say they'd hit what I hit in my race of getting Betro 80, which
Well, I mean, there are 5 crystals on Betro, so
yeah, they're probably safe then. So yeah, we see no circles from Jim, but we still have the opportunity for Exto to get circles. So now the question is Jim going to just rush the one check in Volcano Summit, or is he going to check dig spots first? Well, that's...
I think in this case that the Volcano Summit and coming back for the dig spots is the correct play.
I would agree. But Jim is heading to check dig spots. Also, the fact that he's doing this routing means that he probably will not do the Bit Magic for BX08.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that he's gone past it.
Or, well, he's going completely around the Thrill Digger cave. I think the thing is, without lowering that bridge, or not the bridge, the tower, it becomes difficult to...
He also now has early Thunderhead on his file, so he can't Bit Magic with it.
I mean, yeah, true.
The thing is that at this point, I'd be thinking about every advantage I can get. That isn't, being named Gymnast86.
I mean, that is quite a hefty advantage, to be completely honest, but true.
Circles? I wasn't paying attention to Exo's screen.
And Jim mismanaging his stamina. He's gonna have to climb this again. Or, well, at all. Like, that is a misplay I would
Jim...
not expect to see from Jim.
Yeah. Also almost getting curb stomped. A vanilla key piece.
I mean, if you found all 5 key pieces, then suddenly getting the shed flag would not consume that much time, but that's not likely to happen.
Could you imagine that?
I mean, that would probably, to be honest, only happen on an Earth Temple, or on an Earth Temple Sandship Seed.
Well, I mean, we'd see them RBM the trial open and then use that as their bit magic file afterwards, most likely.
Yeah. So Exto is making the play right to Volcano Summit. And,
I like this play. I like this play a lot.
but not getting... Well, okay, now he's realizing he needs water first.
Not only do I think this is fast, faster than what Jim is doing, but I love the gamble of this play. Because you never have to check the other location here, because it's claw shot lock. So this is your, like, you're not even isolating a check here.
Well, Jim has the... Jim is in go mode. But Exto probably will not be that far behind, because I imagine he'll check that soon. So, Exto still has a chance.
It's the key piece!
That's 2 key pieces, like, in Elden.
This is gonna be a close to 2-hour seed.
Yeah, it depends on where the boss key is in Sandship. Like, that is going to decide everything.
So, Jim does not have a Tentacles skip setup, which means that Exo could get an advantage here still. If Jim elects to not do... What is Jim doing? Oh, he's gonna make a Skyloft file for Bit Magic. No. Jim, what are you doing?
Oh, did Jim still have Curse Metal?
Oh, okay.
In fact, that's why he didn't go to Volcano Summit, because he had Curse Metal, so he wasn't able to get water to douse the flames. So he was actually, like, saved. He saved time because of Curse Metal. The first time I think that has ever happened in SS Rando Race.
Never ever before seen content here, ladies and gentlemen. Cursed Metal giving Jim go mode.
Okay,
so man.
We'll see what Exto decides to do here.
So Exo can also, like, stop at Skyloft and make a Bit Magic file on Skyloft, which is also a fine play.
Yeah, but will that have 9x04 on it?
It'll have, because he has the grave, he has the shed and the Betror door open. Because Skyloft starts with the door open. And we push the shed, because, you know, Betror 50 was required. So no Tentacles skip from either runner today? What is this?
I mean, Exto could still set it up. So we'll see on Exto's side, because he's just landing in Linear now.
Did he? Oh! He landed at this statue, which means he might be going for the setup using the West Desert minecart. if there's an early boss key, this could put Exto in the lead.
Yeah, the thing is, Exto is... The thing is, not having BX08 means that there's going to be a lot of text, but even so, Tantalus is a very long fight. Exto setting up...
No,
Exto thought about it.
Exto, what are you doing?
And I know, like, Exto hates Tantalus as a boss. Like...
Exto, you just threw away your shot at winning! Exto baited us all!
Exto just wanted to make a liar out of me.
Again.
Yeah. Like, took away one of the advantages he could have had. And the one thing I can think is maybe he had... Although he should have been able to check on the map screen if he had checked the desert entrance statues.
Yeah, maybe he realized he hadn't.
That's the only thing I can think of. Because he definitely looked for half a second like he was going to push the minecart down.
He did check desert entrance? Okay. Oh man, Exo's gonna be so upset if we have to tell him, right? That could have cost him the raise. Depending on how this goes.
We'll have to see where the boss key is, but yeah.
I mean, either way, like...
Okay, so... Jim entering Sandship at 139. Oh, let's call it 5. So... Just to kind of gauge the distance between the two runners at this point.
Oh, you're using the timer?
Yeah, I'm using the stream timer. It's about a minute between them, I think.
Yeah, I would guesstimate roughly a minute. Maybe closer to like 90 to 100 seconds, but...
No, it's not that much, because Exto, like, basically I'm using the time for skipping the second cutscene. Exactly a minute between them.
Exactly. I think Tantalus Skip saves, like, upwards of 45 seconds. Jim falling off the mast!
Well, this could, this is, giving up a little bit of Jim's lead.
They're like 10 seconds apart now! Okay, a little more, more than that.
Interesting.
Exo gambling!
I think Exo just accidentally opened the door, because I think, because he missed the shot. And I think also, like, wanted to do a forward roll. I think it did a backward roll.
Extra throwing away time, too.
Yeah.
This could come down to who has the hottest smile. And the spiciest kebab.
Yeah. I mean, these are two runners who I would expect to get a kebab.
I expect a kebab from Jin. And yeah, I expect it from Exto as well.
Both of these both of these runners have run the game for a long time. Both of them know the... They're also falling off the mast.
What is happening to our runners?
And Horde skip saves over a minute.
Yeah, Horde skip has to save like a minute.
Wait, did Gymnast not check the heart piece chest?
Oh, he realizes it.
I mean,
Or did he get, like, Jim got shot off? Oh no! This is truly a race for the ages.
Like, Exto could actually take the lead right here.
He missed the shot! Exo, please realize you missed.
Okay, maybe not quite, because I forgot Exo has to go through this text, but still. Like, this got really close.
Oh, he did hit. This is like... Come on, Exo.
Exo takes the lead by, like, a second.
Vanilla heart piece. Exto has 6 hearts. The sink! And Exto misses the claw shot!
Jim choosing to power down the
Interesting.
so that must mean he's going for combo lock chest first?
But you can do combo lock in the present. I think Jim realizing he made an error.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he shut off the time shift stone there. Well, Exto now has 7 hearts.
I mean, this race is a required watch for completely different reasons than the Jazz Mix race.
So, Exto is choosing to do this room before any of the other generator stuff. Which
I agree with this.
I see a lot.
Do you not agree with it?
I guess the one thing is I do feel like it's slightly slower to like have to run.
Oh yeah, because you can do it after activating the first generator, right? Right.
Yeah, I guess like I prefer to follow the no bit routing.
Well, the no bit routing is probably fastest. Extra going for the combo lock check.
I mean, if that happens to be the boss key, like that is race for Exto.
Our runners need to be playing like by the books at this point. They don't know, but they need to be. Most likely place for the boss key to show up is vanilla or the bow chest.
Yeah, because those are the small key locked locations.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Well, the thing is, like...
Oh!
Wait. So...
Yeah, no. And then the heart piece chest is the next most. Exto gets the true Master Sword, though.
Yeah, now that's going to save a little bit of time for Exto on Horde, but probably not enough to...
I don't think it's enough to justify that check.
But I mean, it might have been that Exto was just like hoping for that to be a small key or something. That's probably the reason. But we will not see Gymnast check that.
Yeah, we will not see him get that check.
But that's unfortunate because that basically just threw away Exto's lead.
Yeah. The combination lock is the second least likely place for the boss key to be.
Yeah, but I mean,
only beaten out by specifically the treasure room 4th chest.
Yeah. I mean, that's might just be like statistical anomaly.
That is 100% statistical anomaly. Although boss keys and stuff, they could have used the
Jim
actually,
getting
yeah.
stun locked after missing his bow shot. But Jim mostly done powering up the generators, and then it'll just... It's either going to be the boss key or small keys leading to the boss key. So yeah, Jim has taken back a pretty solid lead after Exto went out of his way to check the combo lock chest, which, mind you, like, if that had been the boss key, like, that would have been just game for Exto.
Yeah, I get
Exto,
why he did it.
Yeah, Exto was probably just looking to make a gamble at that point, and it just didn't pay off, or didn't pay off in the way he wanted. I mean, True Master Sword is probably like the
only thing that it could have been that would have been okay for him.
Yeah.
However, if the boss key is not in the brig with the robot or in treasure room, it's a matter of who gambles better on the small key lock checks, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, it's then a question of, like...
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so that... Jim has a very significant lead.
Yeah, Jim has a lead of probably 2-ish minutes.
Yeah, we'll see when he... I'll do another timing when he opens the boss door.
Yeah.
Because they're basically following the same routing, and we'll find... I mean, that said, like, Exo is still pretty close, because he's entering the engine room.
Yeah,
Jim's
he's very close here.
Like, this is going to be the closest of the group stage matches thus far.
It's the closest of all of our races ever. If Exto had set up for Tendril Skip, I'd give him a lead here still, actually. But
I think that would more just make them even.
You don't think it saves enough time?
Yeah, I mean, especially having to go through all the Betrow rewards.
They're not that... Exo could have made that. Oh, Jim with the dodge.
See, Tentacle Skip would have also saved having to heal there. I'm actually really surprised that Jim healed there, but it does make sense because Barreldorf is a thing. Okay, 150-53. So we know Exto will not have to heal there because he's already at full health.
Did you time?
So it's like a 45-second difference between the two.
Okay.
This is insanely close.
This is... Yeah, TMS will net ever so slightly more time. Will inch Exto. The bonk! And running out of stamina.
I mean, that would have been optimal had he not bonked, because
Well,
you
yes,
want
but-
to drain your stamina, but yeah, it just bonking. Yeah,
Bonking that corner is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Exo missing the shot! Exo, not like this.
Jim serenading Pentalus there.
Serenading Tantalus.
Exto missing the shot on the last tentacle on that phase, that cost him an actual significant amount of time. I mean, we could still see a barrel dwarf here, and that could make a significant difference time-wise.
They're one Tantalus cycle apart.
I mean, this boss is basically an auto-scroller.
You know it is. Unless you miss the eye like I do. Exo missing the eye! I willed it into existence. I'm sorry, Exo.
Commentator's curse. Okay.
Everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah, Jim did not get barrel dwarfed.
If Exo wins this race, people who bet on Exo in the prediction are making mad bank.
Jim voiding out intentionally to reset the cycle there and getting the snipe.
Alright, so they're the ending of Tantalus in separation, approximately. So this is gonna be like a sub 215 seed, I think.
Yeah. Too bad we, like, yeah, we're not going to see a sub 2, but it's going to be close. Yeah, we'll have to ask in the interview why neither of them decided to set up Tantalus skip.
I'm very surprised that Jim didn't do it on Skyloft. I assume he just didn't think about it on Skyloft. But...
Well, he couldn't do it on Skyloft because that already has the Cursed Metal flag on it.
Yeah, neither runner could have done that.
Yeah, I mean... So that's why, yeah, like...
Yeah, that's why
Zelda
neither
and
of them...
Nehru were the only answers for that. I wasn't paying attention until I missed the exact time, but it's about a minute and a half to 2 minutes separation now between the runners. So Exto missing shots in the Tantalus fight definitely cost him.
Yeah, but that requires Jim to miss 2 attempts at kebabbing.
And yeah, Jim is very consistent at the imprisoned fight, so I would be surprised if he did not kebab here. And same with Exto. Like, it would have to be like an unfortunate, like, clipping through the imprisoned's head kind of incident for them to fail it.
If Jim checks TMS, that's a good point. He loses a little bit of time.
Yeah, I don't see Jim checking TMS. Like, he has basically no reason to.
For TMS.
Well, even so, I don't think. Like, it's such a low likelihood that it would actually be there. And so, why take the time to check it when, in all likelihood, it's going to be something that doesn't help you with the endgame bosses?
I think, if anything, Exto is more likely to miss jump slashes to nerves, because we've seen him messing up things we know he's good at to nerves here so far.
Yep. So, Jim getting the finger slice, and now it's time to hot the spile.
Let's see if Jim can get a kebab. Looking good.
Yep. That.
Actually,
Yeah, his position looked a little funky, but it's fine. It's.
Yep, Exo's gonna get a kebab, or Jim is gonna get a kebab here.
And kebab.
Jim is officially one entire kebab ahead.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll time again when they.
It's
when
just
they,
about a minute. I saw someone say.
Yeah, when they hot the spile into the ground, because there is one more hotting or spile hotting that needs to happen. Yep, Gruce sets up the Grucinator and everything, and we don't need it at all.
Did Exto get finger slices?
He has to have, because I feel like he would not be at this point if he didn't. And
2 great kebabs back to back. Spicy kebabs all around.
2:00:15 for Jim.
2 what?
Or 2:00:15 is when.
I thought it was 2:17, but sure. Yeah, we can go with that.
Oh, I was looking at Jim's timer. That's why.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the race timer.
Okay. Okay, so we'll call it 17. Okay, so. And then, unfortunately, this is a really long cutscene after you kill the imprisoned.
Yeah.
So. That's why, like, both of these runners just hate having to fight this boss specifically because of all the cutscenes around it.
Yeah.
But we have it in these settings because, like, of races like this where it's like the execution is really important.
Although, to be fair, this scene would be just about over right now if it wasn't for Imp 2.
True. Just over a minute, yeah. A minute, like 5 seconds. And yeah,
If Jim somehow misses Horde Skip, Exto's back in this.
Yeah, but another thing I really don't see happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Jim's smartly not checking TMS.
Now, the one thing that could happen is if these Bokos decide to troll Jim.
Yeah, because there is some amount of RNG here.
Yeah, because it has happened in his all dungeons run where they just have.
So he's gonna get a fairy.
Gets hit once, but shouldn't be that big of a deal.
So Oh, he was at 6 hearts, right?
Exto taking the time to get a fairy, not like this.
Yeah, I saw him pull out the bottle. I knew he was going to.
That, like...
I think that seals it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, like, I think regardless, Jim is still would have been favored to win, but it just put even more time between them. Jim getting a clean board skip.
Yep. Jim's demise is like god tier. He can do it blindfolded, so there's that.
Yeah. I don't think he will do it blindfolded for this.
Could you imagine him doing it blindfolded for the race just to flex?
I mean, it would be quite the flex. But I don't think he'll do it in this race. Not when he can just, like, completely seal himself into brackets with this. Because, assuming
the winner
Jim
of this does go to brackets.
Yeah. Jim not only goes directly to brackets, he will be #1 seed in brackets.
So also getting a clean horde skip.
But yeah, and that basically ends, well, not quite. Exto will still have one more slight advantage in the Girahim 3 fight from having True Master Sword.
I doubt that it'll come into play, though.
Agreed. But both runners with 3 hearts, so they can afford to take one more hit.
Exto is a fairy, so he can afford to take a lot more than one hit.
True.
Jim not serenading Girahim.
Unfortunate.
No purples, though, so...
Yeah. If you shield bash Girahim's attack at the correct time, yeah, you can skip that whole purple.
I mean, he also has to attack you at the right time.
True. Yes. There is an RNG component to that, but it helps. Or it saves time.
Like exactly one Girahim phase 1 or Girahim 3 phase 1 apart.
Oh no! So Jim, like, I think thought he or was like trying to do the True Master Sword strat, and then remembered he didn't have it, so
yeah.
he lost a little bit of time there. Wretched brat. A little bit late, but I'll get it on time for Extos.
Exto's the winner in our hearts for serenading. Wretched brats in chat, of course.
Yep. And now Master Cookies has to just defeat Demise to claim his victory.
Jim through phase 1 of Demise here.
Yep. Choosing to use shield strats there.
I mean, it's the smart play.
True.
I actually almost thought Jim was going to fight it. That back would look really late.
And with that, Jim finishes in first place with a time of 2:06:44.
Jeez, Jim.
As Exto enters the Demise fight.
Man.
Like, this is the closest race of the tournament, assuming that Exto does not have any issues with Demise.
Literally just Demise apart. Exto, no.
Luckily, Exto has a fairy, so it's not that big of a deal.
Oh god, we cursed Exto into that.
Exto might have like just seen the dot done at that moment.
And been like so disheartened, which is unfortunate because he played so well up to this point.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little over a minute difference between the two. Exto finishes in second place with the time of 2:07:57. So a minute and a half difference between the runners.
Not even. Minute 13.
So we are joined by Exto and Jim. GG to both of you.
Yeah, GG's all around, guys.
GG. That
GG.
was very close.
That was the closest match of the tournament thus far.
We that was wild. That's all we really have to say.
Well, I'm glad we could put on a good show today. Glad we could have a good race.
Yeah, close races are always good.
Yeah.
I was particularly satisfied to see that we got Isle of the Gratitude crystals this season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
thanks.
awesome.
Yeah, it was like we were in commentary. We were like, oh yeah, so this means that he'll just want to grab some individual crystals. And then next test, nope, I don't think he'll be grabbing any more individual crystals. Next test, I guess he will be grabbing individual crystals.
That's exactly what went through my mind as well. I was like, all right, I hope there's 5 gratitude crystals here.
I was a little bit disheartened that Water Dragon Scale was completely useless.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
wondering if you went to go get that.
Yeah,
I got-
Exo actually ended up skipping it completely.
Because
yeah.
I was able to deduce that Owlin crystals had to be Water Dragon scale. And
Yeah.
so I assumed, well, I feel like Jim's going to get Water Dragon skill, so I'm going to skip it.
Good play, because who knows what kind of wild goose chase whatever item was there might have sent you on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, I mean, we know one thing, which is that there was a Song of the Hero part locked behind it. If I remember
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Yeah,
think
so
Yeah. The other Song of the Hero part, Jim, was on the Farron trial, so...
Okay.
Yes.
Very good that I did not do that.
That was a great reward.
because
Yeah.
I guess the other thing, so if I remember right, I saw you save before you picked up Ula. Were you planning on save scumming that if that was bad?
Yeah, but then I got Water Dragon Scale and I'm like, I probably want this. But no, I did not need it. I also got a Cursed Metal at a very inopportune time.
It actually saved you time compared to Exto, because Exto went to Volcano Summit immediately in Elven after getting through Magma Turf, and at that same time you found Claw Shots. But Exto would have found Claw Shots first, otherwise, I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was gonna do I was going to also like save scum the Magma Mitts location. But I was probably going to do that last instead of like before the Claw Shot check.
Yeah. Reasonable. However, you had the Cursed Metal at that time, so that would have been an event.
No, yeah, thankfully I realized I was like, okay, I can't do that because the Cursed Metal is preventing me from getting my bottle, and most importantly, my Hylian shield.
Yeah, the first pouch item, Hylian Shield.
Yeah, because the other thing that we were wondering kind of around that time was that neither of you set up for Tantalus skip.
I
No,
thought
I
about
mean-
it.
Yeah, I thought about it, but like with the route going through like the vent to go all the way up to the top and go like behind using bombs makes shooting the jewel at Thrill Digger very inopportune.
No, I almost set up in Laneru actually.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
we-
saw you
okay.
turn around to
Mhm.
push the minecart, and then as soon as I started to like talk about it, you turned around again.
Yeah, in retrospect, obviously, hindsight's 2020. Probably would have been a good idea.
I was setting up chat for you to do that skip, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna be ahead. This is gonna be awesome." And then you just walked
Well,
right by it.
to be
And now
honest,
I have to just totally disown you, dude. Like now that there's if you've brought it completely out of my hands, what can I say? I'm disappointed.
the actual reason that I ended up not doing it was because I couldn't remember anything about the text box. That was the last text box that I needed to RBM. And so I said, whatever, it's fine.
It's 2-4 when you go right left. So.
Okay.
Not that helps you now, but
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, if
also why
there
I-
was a seed to do Tentula skip, it was this one.
But still, a very, very close race.
insanely close, actually. You two exchanged leads in Sandship like 4 times.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. When Jim fell off the mast, you were ahead, then you fell off the mast, and then,
Oh, wow.
Oh, we were
And-
doing the,
Yeah.
you know, we were going in circles.
and
Also,
then you
Jim,
Exto chose to go to the combo lock chest,
Oh.
which is actually what ended up putting you behind for the remainder of the race, unfortunately.
That's hilarious because I was so happy to find True Master Sword there.
That's what was in there.
Yeah, that was true Master Sword. Of all the places it could have been.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I
hilarious.
usually do the combination log last because it's the closest one to the boss door.
Yeah, that's what I usually do as well.
I was hoping, I was thinking that I needed all the luck I could get because obviously Jim fast, and so I figured I'd take a bit of a gamble there.
I mean, I like to think that we both fast.
I mean, you both are fast. Just look at this seed.
You're slightly faster, I would definitely say though. But yeah, what a close race. It was funny because I was actually thinking to myself, I was like, I've got to hoard, but that doesn't mean I'm safe. And then
Yeah, it just means it's at the very least it's close.
Yeah.
And so as I was getting the cutscene to walk into the purple portal, you finished, and I was like, oh wow. And then I got hit by Demise, actually, and got very sad. But then I remembered that I had a fairy.
Yeah. We had the exact same reaction in commentary, basically.
yeah. I mean, yeah, granted that getting that fairy did cost you a bit of time, although I don't think it was enough to make the difference.
I thought the stupidest thing I could possibly do now was die at Horde.
But you didn't die at Horde, so there's that.
Did not die at Horde, yes. Horde with True Master Sword is fairly easy,
Yeah.
so...
This is also a fairly heart-light seed.
Yeah, that was unusual.
Yeah.
I think I only had 7 or 8 hearts at the end.
You had 6 hearts at one point very near the end, Exto, and it was
Yeah,
very like, we were a little concerned over it because we were like, 6 heart horde is not fun for anyone involved, no matter how good you are.
I think like the heart total was like, I think Exo had 7 at the end, and I want to say Jim had 9.
Jim had 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought it was interesting how the game was like, here's the beetle, go complete Skyview Temple.
Yeah.
Yes! That was...
I mean, actually, it was like go to Farron. Now do Allen crystals. Actually, it wanted you to double dip Skyview because bombs for
Mhm.
Allen crystals.
Right.
For the-
Actually, that's true. That was a logically required double dip, which I
For
feel
the
like
scale
is
double
somewhat rare in this randomizer, but I think it tends to happen more often with Skyview than any other dungeon, but it kind of makes sense because Skyview 2 is a thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think Skyview is the only dungeon where it's like super likely to happen.
Right.
Comparatively.
Logically, the boss key was locked behind Water Dragon Scale.
Mm-hmm.
We did think that scale was going to be on like Beatrice or something.
See, I actually at one point only had one check left, and it was Owlin Crystals, so I knew that Owlin Crystals was the skill.
Yeah, but you had already done Beatrice at that point, right? We were guessing on that before that.
I went pretty into Beatrice pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, your routing for Beatrice was insane this race.
I like to think it was pretty good.
Like, I looked away from your screen, and then suddenly you were, like, finished with Beatrice, and I was like, when did this happen? So.
Too bad it was, like, gratitude crystals or something.
It was
I like didn't do any of Beatrice past like 3 conversations.
Oh.
I guess one thing that I did is I don't know if you decided to like go through the sequence to save Machi, but I did like the really stupid jump from the rope.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, no, he did do the stupid jump from the rope. When we first started, we thought you were doing early Lake Floria with the rope, and we're very, very confused.
Oh yeah, no.
I definitely just walked through the cutscene.
Yeah, I feel like because all the triggers that like normally stop you from leaving that area before you rescue Machi are all gone. So basically, it saves just that first Boko cutscene.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. Although I would never do the stupid rope thing.
I don't know why anyone would, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to flex, but...
Well, I was like, well, I don't have claw shots, so I may as well do this, I suppose. And little did I know I wasn't going to get claw shots for a very long time.
Yeah, no, that was insane how deep they were.
Mm-hmm. Did you go get the Magma Mitts check by Fire Sanctuary, like the heart piece?
No, because I had cursed metal going through Elden, so I was not able to open up my pouch.
Oh, I see. So that's what they were talking about.
Yeah,
that's
he
what
could not actually get the check.
Time.
Oh, that's actually really interesting.
Insane. The cursed metal saved time somewhere.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's probably about a minute difference too.
Granted, Jim did have to go to Skyloft and drop off the cursed metal immediately following that, but yeah, it definitely exchanged the lead to a certain extent.
Interesting. Normally, I don't think I've seen too many cursed metals in races, so having a cursed metal be so impactful is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this may not have been a jank ADN seed, but it was certainly straight content.
Well, I look forward to watching it back.
Oh, absolutely. You two should watch this back and just see how insane the race was.
Yeah, well, GG Jim, congratulations.
GG Exto, thank you very much.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jim, this clinches you for first seed in the bracket stage, so GG's to that.
Cool.
Nice.
I checked all the right things.
Yeah. Checked all the right things and moved fast.
And got the cursed metal, apparently.
Did you get a nice kebab at the end?
Kebab.
Optimal in Prison 2 is called a kebab these days.
Ah, okay. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you both haunted the style correctly.
Yeah. It was a brilliant endgame to watch, actually, because both of you played your endgames essentially flawlessly up until the one hit on demise for Exto.
Yeah, the Wii Remote didn't want to stab. I don't know why. And then Demise stabbed me back.
The reverse stab. He really said no you.
He really did. Well, I guess that's about it for today.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
All right, that's my cue to steal it away. As chat asked, the next race is going to be on Saturday at noon. It's Kit Kat versus Mario Runner. So
That's gonna be a good one.
That'll be a pretty hype match. And then after that we got 2 matches on Sunday, so it will likely be a double restream. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So that'll be Matt Strats versus Lepalog and Calm Down Sam versus Deer.
Yeah, they're going to be on the same restream as far as I'm aware.
So very hype matches coming up this weekend. Oh, and right after that we have Harmyon versus Floha. So that'll be good too.
That's going to be a fun match to watch.
But yeah, make sure you guys follow the runners, the trackers, and the commentators. It was a pretty fun one today. And I will go ahead and send you guys over to... I was gonna meme and raid Floha bot, but it probably seems like a bad idea. So we'll just raid this guy, Jodo, the Exposer. He's playing SS, so seems like a good idea. But thanks so much, everyone.